So as you can tell there, I have a really squeaky pulley, and it's really hard to tell where it's coming from, but there's a little trick there, is just to take a tube, stick one end to your ear, and be real careful though that you don't hit this fan, because it's spinning really fast, and put the other end of the tube on each one of these pulleys, and you'll be able to tell usually where the sound is coming from. In this case, I thought it was the alternator, but when I did that test, it seems like it's coming from the water pump. It's way down in there. So I need to do a little bit more testing. Another little trick is to take a can of like PB Blaster or some kind of lubricant, and while it's running, spray it on the bearings on each one of these pulleys, and if it quiets it down or if it shuts up altogether, then you know that's the one. I'm still not 100% sure, but I'm also having a problem with the battery. I can charge it fully and let it sit for a couple days, and then it'll just be dead. So either I have a bad battery or there's some kind of parasitic draw somewhere. So I think I might have found the squeaky problem. This is the tensioner pulley right here, and it adds tension to the belt. Now check this out. It's supposed to have a spring in it and spring back to add tension to the belt, but it's just completely stuck. So I think instead of having a squealing bearing, I might just have a squeaky, like a slipping pulley. So since it's not pulling tight, the belt is just slipping on one of the pulleys, causing it to squeak. Hopefully. So first thing I'm going to do is try spraying it with some lubricant, loosening it up. If that doesn't work, I'll have to get a new one or grab one from Pull Apart. I think to test to see if that's what it is, I'll start it up and put more tension on it. See if the squeak goes away. So I can't really pull the belt tight because as soon as I do, it loosens that bolt. So I'm going to have to get a new tensioner. But here's something else I forgot I had, and that's belt dressing. It's basically just a sticky stuff. You spray it on the belt, and that'll make it stop squeaking. So if that works, we'll know that it's just a belt squeaking and not a pulley. Check it out. This thing is driving me nuts. I don't know if I got it on there like that to begin with or it popped off, but it's not on the AC belt. The belt is sticky now that I sprayed that stuff on there, but it was still squeaking a little bit. But I couldn't really get it on there good because the fan kept blowing it everywhere. See what I mean about the tensioner? I can try to pull it tight, but if I pull it too tight, it unloosens the bolt, which just takes the pulley off. So I can't really pull it the right way to get it tight, otherwise it just loosens it. Alright, I'm at a loss here. As soon as I start it up, the pulley jumps off the AC. So the only thing I can think of is that pulley is bent, but it's not wobbling. So the next thing is Maybe there's just not enough tension from the tensioner since it's not working properly. So I'm going to go ahead and do first things first and just fix that. Here's what I was talking about the other day, guys. If you look in here, this is a straight 6 on a Grand Cherokee. If you look in here, this guy has just put in a brand new distributor. It's got new cap, rotor, spark plug wires, a brand new starter, a new K&N oil filter, and it also looks like a fairly new alternator and a brand new coil pack. Now, how do I know that's a brand new coil? Because in the floorboard I found the boxes. So it's got some sort of relay there. It's got a coil in the box. I'm pretty sure this is the old coil and the new one is in the engine bay there. And he's also installed a fuel pressure regulator. Even has the receipt. Here's part of the old distributor right there and the old rotor button. That seat is in really good shape too. Just the passenger one though, the driver one's kind of beat up. So you can find some scores and some new parts at Pull Apart. I think I'm going to snag these. I wish they were for a V8. I could use them on the cheap Jeep, but most of these parts I can't use because they're for the straight 6. But might snag them for another project down the road, or for my Cherokee. I think most of them will work for the Scorpion crawler. So this is why you should carry all your tools all of the time when you go to the salvage yard. I'm out here at Pull Apart. I found all these awesome parts, but I came here for one specific item, so I didn't bring all my tools like I would normally do. I've got a 15mm wrench, and I've got a 10mm little tiny socket, and I have a crescent wrench and a screwdriver. Those are what I needed to pull the parts that I was looking for, the tensioner pulley. But I found some other cool stuff and I can't get to it. I've managed to get most of it, but there's a few parts here that I just can't get because I didn't bring all my tools. Lesson learned. Haha! Score! It's a brand new K&N air filter. It's like they gave this Jeep a brand new tune-up and a few other fresh parts right before it got scrapped. Check these out. About 4 inches of coil spacers there. I'd grab those if the other side wasn't on the ground over there. I'd have to do some work. Of course, if the belt was on there, you'd have to remove the belt. That's easy by just putting a wrench on there, cranking it over that way until it loosens. It's a tight squeeze. There's another Phillips screw on the bottom, and then this guy will move out of the way. And then back here, there is a 15mm nut. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. go. Make sure to keep that nut, of course. Don't want to lose that. And there we go. Got a new tensioner. Well, at least one that works. Now that I think about it, we should have tested this to see if it works, but I can still do it. I'll just put it in here and then put a wrench on it. And put a wrench on it. Pry it forward and see if it snaps back. You can see that when I pull it this way, it springs back into place and has tension on it. Okay, I'm not even sure if this battery is going to fit when I go to close the hood, but that other battery was giving me problems. I had it checked at AutoZone. They said it was good. However, I tried to charge it on that charger probably 6 times, and every time it would give me an error, and when I would put it in the vehicle, it would be dead overnight. So I'm pretty sure that battery is dead. This one seems to be okay, so let's put it in here. Let's see that it's good first. I've got 12 volts. Let's do a quick parasitic draw test. I might make a video on that later, but the first thing we're going to do is hook up this, if we can get it up over there. Okay, hook up your positive lead only. Turn this over to DC amps. I'm going to switch this over, and let's see what kind of draw we have. .4. So let's go down to milliamps. Well, now that's saying 0.11, so we should be good. I was contemplating for the longest time I thought it was a parasitic draw in the system, because they said the battery was good, yet it was still going dead overnight, but it looks like it was just a short in the battery. Now let's see if the hood will close with my boat battery in there. Gonna be tight. It's about time to get a new battery for the boat anyway, so that turns out good. This battery just stays at about 66% or so until it finally just gives it an error. So that one's done for. I was having some issues with it running weird, so I'm interested to see if that'll help out. Let's give it a shot.